Good morning, everybody. This is a brand new week. It's a beautiful Monday morning. That's why we call this Maker Monday. And we're going to show you a project I think you're going to find very fun. And also it's going to broaden your whole sense of creativity in the fact that one, it's easy. And two, it's going to be a great gift idea. And you know, all of us here at a Maker Studio, we're all about empowering the creative to be able to make things, but also use that as a business opportunity. So this may be something that you enjoy doing, recreating again to be able to resell maybe on your Etsy shop, maybe if you do crafts fairs or shows. So let's take a look at this really quickly, and I want to show you, this was a find from the dollar section at Target. Of course, if you're not familiar with that, that's Target. It's a lot more fun to call it Target, but it's from the dollar section, and we've just been discussing the fact that the dollar section has gone up to maybe $3. So I think we paid $3 for this, and it's just a picture frame that allows you to be able to see how you can make it into a piece of art. So you can stack it on a top of books, maybe put this in the bathroom. I love having little quotes in my bathroom, my guest bathrooms, where people go in and wash their hands, and they can be encouraged by a simple little quote. So we're going to show you today how to paint the frame, how to be able to come in and use our stencil and our gel inks to create art that you can come back and use the gel ink and actually paint it almost like it was watercolor. So what we do when we put these kits together, it's about making it easy for you to be able to be creative. And so we put everything together besides maybe a surface, that you don't have to go wandering around trying to find things. It's all in this bundle. So let's go over what's in this bundle for you this morning. So you're going to get 4 of our gel inks. Now, it may not look like a lot, but I'm just going to tell you, these go really, really far. When you are going to be working on a project like this, it doesn't take very much ink at all. So we've given you a red, a yellow, a blue, and a gray. Along with these gel inks, we're going to give you a container of our Rescue Restore paint, which goes on any surface. You don't have to sand it, strip it, or prime it, so you can rescue an old frame that you have. We're also going to give you one of our best-selling stencils, and that's this one, so you'll be able to use it. You could actually use some of your ink and this stencil to be able to do a t-shirt later. So don't just think about this project being done. You can do a whole lot of other projects afterwards. And then we're going to give you another beautiful stencil that you can do a board later with it. It'd be a great gift. There's tons of different projects that we're going to be using this later on in the season. It gets closer to the holidays, but we're going to be able to use part of this stencil as you see these decorative flowers around it on the border of our frame. And then you're also going to receive a sponge brush, an artist brush, and a spreader. All that's going to come in your kit to be able to allow you to do the project. So let's talk just a little bit about this frame. So you'll notice I have a picture frame here, but you can take a frame that you're going to rescue and restore from Goodwill. Guys, I love you shopping at Goodwill. Estate sales, garage sales, those are some of the best buys, especially on Sunday if we're talking about estate sales, that you can get a picture frame and you can paint. You'll be really surprised how far this Rescue Restore paint is going to go. So while I'm painting a raw frame, you could definitely paint an existing frame that maybe you have that has a finish on it. That's what makes this so great, is if it's an old stained frame and you want to totally renew it, then just use the Rescue Restore paint. So I'm going to pour a little bit of this paint. Make sure you shake it up good. The great thing about this Rescue Restore paint is the fact that it has no VOCs. You don't have to worry about any toxins. It's water-based, so it's easily cleanable with soap and water. And I'm just going to load this up on my picture frame like this. And of course, you've got your sponge brush with you that comes in the kit. Just in long, clean strokes, I want to get an application everywhere of the Rescue Restore paint. Now, it's fun and easy to be able to use this indoors because there's no smell to it. It actually has a beautiful smell because we like putting essential oils in our paint. People love working with our paint, especially for that reason. The other thing is, I want you to be very careful not to get this on your clothes. You notice I always wear aprons because if this gets in your clothes, it will not come out. That's why you can use it on fabric. All right, so I want you to be able to continue going around the surface of your frame like this. Let it dry for about 15 minutes and then put on a second coat. That way, you're going to have a picture frame like this. So again, this is the one like from Target that we got. And what you need to do after you've allowed that to dry about another 15-20 minutes, you're ready to do your artwork. So you'll notice, if you're not familiar with our stencils, that they are adhesive. They're a mesh material. They're not like a regular Mylar stencil or anything that you would even do with like a Cricut. Look at the detail on this. See how fine a detail that is. That's what makes this so remarkable. Here's the other thing. You're going to notice that this stencil is adhesive. So you can pull that back. See the shiny side? So that way, look how adhesive it is. So you can use it multiple times, you can wash it, and you can use it over and over again. But see how this is a mesh material through here? It's not cut out. This is actually a mesh. So when we're working with it, we're pressing that ink through that mesh to be able to go on the other side. So today we're working on a picture frame that we're rescuing and restoring, even though we just rescued it from Target, but it served our purpose. We're also going to be able to use the same technique, the same process and skill that you're learning to be able to use this. Like I could use this stencil and I can use this ink and make me a t-shirt with the same thing. The ink was formulated for fabrics, but it allows us to be able to work on things like this as well. All right, so I'm going to take my dark gray ink that comes in my kit. And you'll notice how I took my stencil and I cut it out so that way I want to be able to have the rose and the flowers that kind of fall off the surface like this. So we're looking at composition. Let's look at this right here. You're not concerned about cutting it in strips. Allow it to lay. Like this oak leaf right here, it's not going to all be on there. And that's what makes it so compositionally interesting. It's like a piece of art. So that way you've got a little bit where it's falling over the side, and that compositionally I've got it to where the whole oval eye track of this piece makes it look like a piece of art. You're going to impress all your friends with this. Everybody's going to want to be able to get together. This also makes for a great workshop. You want to get a group together, maybe you have a Bible study group, maybe you have a bunco group, and it's a fun thing for y'all to get together and do. So now I've put my second coat of Rescue Restore paint on my frame, and I'm going to come back. I've cut my spreader with my scissors into just different strips in different sizes. So this is my original spreader size, and I've just cut a piece off of it right here. So that allows me to be able to get in here in these small areas. So with this gray ink, I want you to press it through. So just literally lay it here and press it. Don't lay it just on top, but I want you to put a little bit of pressure to it. You know, this is a great project. We've got kids out for the summer. If you're having birthday parties and it's like you want to be able to have something to do, I did a party like this for my granddaughter, and they had a blast. Matter of fact, here's the funny thing. All the parents that normally, you know, drop their children off at a birthday party, look at from me. What's so funny? You know, normally when there's a birthday party, all the parents come and they drop the kids off, and then they come back and they pick them up like an hour and a half later. Guess what? None of the parents left. All of the parents stayed because they saw that we were going to be making this project. So the parents had a table that they were doing it, and then the kids were at the tables and they were doing it. How fun is that? I mean, that's what you want. You want to be able to have a get-together so it's a great experience and everybody's having a great time. I just think it's also great to be able to get together like this. You can order a kit, and then everybody make theirs, and then you all get to enjoy the bragging rights from it. All right, so let's look at this. So I'm going to pull this back. Look at this. See how easy that was? All the time that you might have taken from coming. Now I've attached these, so I want to make sure that for coming back and being able to like hand draw all that, it's not necessary. It's so fun and so easy to be able to use our stencils for something like this. Now, you want to work your way and go all around the frame, just like we've done. We laid it on two corners, and then just come over here once this is dry. It's going to take about 15 minutes. Lay them on the corners here, and then that way, you're going to have an entire frame that looks just like this. Fun and easy. So now your ink has completely dried, and now it's time for the fun part. So I've got a little container here. You can use a Tupperware container if you want to. And then I'm going to take out, you've got your artist brush that comes in your bundle, and I'm going to take just a little bit of this gel ink like this. And I've got a little bit of tap water right here, and I'm just going to squirt some in my little container. And I'm going to dip my artist brush in here and then dip it in some water. Can you guys see? Alright, so I'm going to get my brush saturated a little bit. So this is kind of like watercolor. So now look, I've gotten water on my brush. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grab just a little bit of that gel art ink. And I usually have just a little bit of cardboard. I'll just tab it just a little bit. Now come in. This is the fun part. Take a deep breath, put on some music, and enjoy yourself. Because this really is an opportunity to, one, be creative, but take yourself back to when you loved coloring. Because that's all this is. It allows you to be able to come in here. I've got this flower. See, so this area right here, you can see this line. This whole area is my rose that I'm painting. People might be going, why are you doing it blue? Well, because it's a pretty color. You can match the decor that you've got. Doesn't necessarily have to be what it would actually be. You don't have to do it red. Makes it that much more fun, but look at that. So you'll notice the ink isn't coming off. I'm trying to stay outside of that line there, but just keep it light and brushy. See how I'll allow just kind of that brushiness, a watercolor feel to it? And look at the other thing. I haven't even loaded up my brush again. And I'm laying this brush on the side. Look how I'm not painting like this. Kind of laying it on the side like this as I'm just filling in that area. I'm telling you guys, this is so relaxing. It's so enjoyable. You cannot mess it up. All right, so then when you're ready and you want to do another color, guess what? All you need to do, I'll take a drink of water. All you want to do is just clean this out. So I'm going to stick this in some water like this. The gel ink is going to come out with water because it's all water-based. And the fun thing is, let's say on this particular frame, I'm sure you noticed they had some green. You can take colors and you can mix them. So I'll take a little bit of this blue down here and mix this together. Look at that. So that way that blue and that yellow made me a pretty little green. So I'm going to add just a little bit of water again. If you're watching, we're coming live to you from Memphis, Tennessee. It's a little after 10 on today's June 3rd. June 3rd, guys, can you believe it's June? It's summer. It's already, I think it was 96 degrees here in Memphis. Tell us where you're from. Send us some love. Let us know that you love Maker Mondays. And be sure and share how you use the product. We love people to enjoy the bragging rights. But the whole point is that you see, you can mix your colors, take your time. It's okay to get outside the lines just a little bit. I like how that makes it look kind of washy. Just like that, and switching your colors and working your way around it. Is that not darling? Is that the cutest? How fun is that? And this is a $3 frame that we got at Target. The other thing I really want you to do though, is I want you to think about going to Habitat. I want you to go to the Restore. I want you to go to Goodwill, because you can get large frames with really wide frames like this for $3 or $4. And then that way, take the ugly picture out and use the inside to be able to put a piece of art like this, a quote, something that you've done. So let me show you what this looks like. So I would work my way around, and you've got your other stencil. Remember, in this bundle that you've got, guys, this is a really good deal, because that way you've got this other stencil that with different quotes on it that you can do. And if you once you get tired of it, you can definitely come back with a razor blade and scrape it off. But I just think quotes, things like this that I like putting in my bathroom or in my bookcase, to be able to encourage myself and for other people. This is one of my favorites. Your life is your story. Write well and edit often. All right, so I'm going to come back with my dark gray gel ink, just like this, just like I did when I was doing my flowers. But you can do this directly on glass. So if you're taking an old picture frame that you're rescuing and restoring, you can do it directly on top of the glass, because it's not something that you're going to be using a whole lot. It's going to be hanging on the wall. So make sure you press that through. I'm going fairly quickly. I don't want you to work too slow, but you're going to see how easy it is to work with. Now I'll take another one of my spreaders, lift that up, on a rag. Look at that. That's so easy. So fun. And it's really an opportunity for you to use your creativity to be able to have this bundle. Of course, there's 3 different quotes, and you can take the flowers, you can create all these different colors that you want to, but it really is an opportunity for you to make something that's a beautiful decor piece for your home. Make it as a gift for someone, or especially if you're a maker, if you're watching this and you don't know about a maker studio. We are all about empowering men and women to be creative entrepreneurs and build a business by teaching others, having workshops. So be sure on the lookout for a virtual Zoom workshop for one of our makers where you can learn how to do this. But here's the other thing, guys. This kit will be shipped to you. As always with all of our bundles, shipping is free. You don't have to worry about it. You get all your supplies together. So we want to see what you do with this bundle and how creative you make it, because it's your turn to enjoy the bragging rights. Have a fantastic week, everybody.